When I was 15, I hated my mom for not being a mother. And now my 15-year-old daughter wants to hate me for being a mother. What are you supposed to do with that? Like, you can't win for losing. And so I'm here asking you today, what is your take on this whole mother daughter dynamic? Why is it so intense in the most extreme ways, positive, negative? Why is it so complicated? Like, why? These are the things I'm pondering today. And I'm pondering it today because this week, two things collided in my world that really, really have me feeling away. So here's the thing. Here's one of the things. You may have already heard about this. I live in Texas. This is a Texas story. I'm struggling because, like, even to fix my mouth to tell this story is just, it's so absurd. But anyway, the three daughters, the 16, 15, and 14-year-old, who went in their mother's kitchen, and I say that's very specifically, their mother's kitchen, to take her knives and to try to stab her in her house with her knives because she turned off her Wi-Fi. And I understand. I understand that when your whole social construct is built around the existence of Wi-Fi and the small device that has enslaved you to it, I I understand that when your access to that device is somehow minimized, which I'm assuming that there isn't much more to the story other than these girls have been arrested. They're in juvie. I'm assuming this mother was trying to enforce some sort of consequence for whatever, or was just trying to establish some boundaries. She has turned off the Wi-Fi. We don't know. We don't know what their discipline was was like heretofore. We don't know. There's a lot we don't know. We don't know where their daddy is. There's a lot we don't know. Here's here's what's heartbreaking. If you're enjoying the content, this would be a great time to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Okay, let's get back to the video. This mother has lost her three children. She lost them long before they went into juvie. I don't know if she knows when she lost them. I don't know. I don't know if she knew before they was chasing her with that knife. You know what? I feel for her. I feel for her because she was trying to do. I'm assuming she was just trying to. She was just trying to do the job. She was just trying to be present and accounted for, like to be present and active, like to be the mom and have to do the hard thing of telling children no. More than the absurdity of the whole event is what it means for that family going forward. How it impacts them. The grief of this mother to not only know what it's like for her children to collectively try to assault her allegedly, but then because of that, now they're locked away. And if she's any kind of mother, I can't imagine her pain. And I tell you who else I'm grieved for. I'm grieved for these girls. I'm grieved because they don't have they don't seem to have language to express what they felt, or they didn't seem to have agency. They didn't seem to feel like they had ability and capacity to express themselves, to express their needs, to express their thoughts, to be heard as well as to hear. They had to resort to violence because they didn't have language, or they didn't have a command of communication to be able to have the conversation that clearly needed to be had. You don't just get up. You don't just go from 0 to 60 and then pick up knives and go try to allegedly stab your mother. You don't do that. There are things that are building up, and whatever was building up, there was an inability amongst the women in that home and the young ladies in that home to be able to have conversation where people come away knowing that they were seen, they were heard, and this is a family dynamic. We were loved. We know we are loved even after we have had this conversation, or set of conversations on topics that are quite difficult, that are quite painful. Um, but we had them. We had them because we're equipped to. We had them because we love each other enough to have them. Clearly, that wasn't there. And so my concern for these girls going forward, they're not going to learn that in juvie. They're not going to come out better equipped to communicate. Uh, Not typically. That's not typically what happens. This mother, while she's home, grieving the fact of what has come of her family, what she made the news for, the reality of her personal pain, the pain that her daughters must be in, and then that her mother had to witness and be a part of and be part of the attack. What is happening with her? How when and if they come back together, is anybody going to be more equipped to have healthy conversations even on divisive topics? That's what grieves me. Thank God the injuries were negligible. She certainly wasn't stabbed, thank God, just the injury from the brick or what have you. But there's an injury that has happened on the inside. There are mother wounds that maybe all the generations have, or certainly these three girls have. And my concern is who will be able to speak into that. So those were the emotions going on there. Then so that was one. Then you had I Saturday's wash day. I was washing my hair and wanted something to do while I was doing my hair, while I was putting these twists in. And so I was like, let me see what's on Netflix. And they had just added the Life List. If you're so inclined, I recommend it. The Life List. I was like, oh, this, read the backstory, and I was like, it seemed like it's gonna be a little heavy. It's mother daughter stuff, and I wasn't in the mood. I got to be in the mood, and so I started watching it. Off the rip, I'm emotional because we finding out, and it's in the backstory, like the summary. So I'm not giving anything away about the although I may end up giving something away. We'll see. Um, the mother's dying, and this is her. The movie is about her last wish for her daughter and mm, how she maneuvers the situation to make it so that her daughter will be inclined to do what it is that she's asking of her, even though the daughter doesn't want to. So the life list is about the thing. It's about this list that the daughter has made, and the mother's like, do the list. Okay, do the list. You never did the list. Do the list. And what you learn as the movie is going on is you learn from the beginning. You see how close this mother and daughter are. They, like my family, were the only two. It's a family of five, and they were the only two females in the family, and so there already is going to be a bond because it's just me and you, girl, in this family of dudes. So they have that going on, and then just the unique circumstances of their family dynamic, and how close they are within that, and how they are, processing knowing that her mother is going to pass away, and how they prepare and all of the things. We don't know much about like what they don't do flashbacks, so we don't see what their relationship is like in when the main character is a teenager. So we don't know if this relationship they have now with the mother and her and now an adult daughter is something that has always been, or is something that has come because with time and maturity you figure things out, you get over yourself, you stop having all the tantrums that you have when you're a teen, yada yada yada. Hey, Dr. Vanessa here, interrupting the video you're enjoying with something else that you might find helpful. There was a time when I had 3 teens in my house, and talking to them or trying to get through to them felt like talking to the wall. And when that happens, we have a tendency to lean into trying to convince them that what we're saying is right. And if you know anything about teens, they resist that wholeheartedly. Have you ever had that experience of trying to convince a kid to see things your way rather than connecting with them? Well, I have a tool to help you identify the habits that are hindering your talks with your kids and then give you the tools to be able to connect with them so that you're seen and heard and give them that same gift. The link is down below in the description box. Now let's get back to the video. So we just know what we know, but what we do know is that unlike said girls trying to stab their mother, this girl, this young woman loves her mama and really is like her mom's biggest fan and has shaped her life around her mom in many ways. And this is the mom, the movie is the mom getting the daughter to live her life. Go figure out who you are and go live. Here's what had me crying in this movie. So many things. Initially, I was watching it and I was crying as a mother because I'm thinking of my daughter. I'm thinking of all the things I want to teach her that, and some of those things only happen as situations arise. Like you can't preemptively tell them everything. Like some things you teach as you go, you counsel as you go. As she gets older, it's being an advisor, it's being more of a coach and more of a, consult me on this and that, and it just happens as you go. Like, and the opportunity that you have to mother in a different way, you're always a mother and you're always mothering. It just looks different as the seasons change. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about how this woman had that beautiful opportunity, that beautiful relationship with her daughter to do that. The daughter welcomed her mom's insight, even though she, they'd have the typical, it's not that serious, why, oh, mom. But it was a playful, at this point in their lives, it was a playful, oh my goodness, type of thing. No venom, right? We're not stabbing mom or trying to stab her. No venom. And I'm just thinking about how awful it is when you see the movie and you see um, how the mother goes about mothering her, parenting her, even from the grave. That blew my mind. It took intentionality, which is my jam as a mom, to a whole nother level. That when you have, as she had the luxury of knowing she was dying and being able to prepare her daughter, not just for her dying, but then speak into her daughter after she was gone so that she's still parenting her like while she's gone. Like, you talk about, my jam is like intentionality that leads to legacy, where things live on beyond you, things you've imparted, you poured into your children poured into their children, and it goes on and on. And then when you leave, your mission, your mantra, like all of the things that were important to you, they are continuing on. I mean, this was next level. And I was so moved emotionally by something fictional portraying something that I take so personally and I'm so passionate about. So there was that. How emotional it must have been for her to prepare in the way she did, the sequence of events that would happen after she passed, um, and how she would still be able to communicate and share wisdom and insight and challenge her daughter, and coach her and encourage her and be her cheerleader. Like, it was amazing. But then halfway through, I was crying for an entirely different reason. I was crying, empathizing with the daughter and realizing how lucky she is. Like, how lucky are you to have a mother who is who so loves you and who sees so much in you that still needs to be called out, still needs to be developed. You still need to be pushed. She wants you to be all you can be. She wants um, you to leave nothing on the table because we find out, had experiences and maybe had regrets associated with those, and she wanted her daughter to live full out. How much of a blessing was it for that daughter to have that? And I cried because I don't know what that's like. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to have a mother so invested all of my life. Um, so there, so supportive, seeing the best in me, encouraging me, speaking life into me, teaching me, coaching me, um, connecting with me, laughing with me. Like I didn't have that. And so the idea, I certainly won't have my mother crafting out an entire plan for how she will. I mean, I don't think she will. Maybe she'll surprise me. She's still alive and well, praise God. Maybe she'll surprise me and do something like that. But I'm like, I know nothing of this. But it was so beautiful to see it, even in fiction, to see how this girl gets to, because for most people, your mama's gone and she's gone. Even if she was dying and had the time, she's not thinking of she she's not thinking of how she can still prep her daughter, because this conversation started before she passed away. She had started talking to her daughter about not settling and going for things. And the daughter was like, I'm fine, I love my life, I love working with you at the company, I'm good, I'm set. And so the conversation had already started, and she just didn't leave it at, okay, well, I tried, and hope she figures it out. If you're enjoying the content, this would be a great time to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Okay, let's get back to the video. She put things into play that even after she passed away, there were things that when everybody came for the reading of the will, there were things that this daughter understood were prerequisites for her that she had to go through. And that's the life list. And so that that level of investment, that level of love, that I still won't let you. I still won't let you. I won't even be here, but I still won't let you live beneath your privilege. I, I cried because I was excited for that girl, and the whole thing ain't even real. I hope it's real for somebody. And so to go through all those emotions this week, and for last night, like knowing I was recording this video today, for last night, my daughter to look at me with tears in her eyes and talk to me about how she couldn't stand me, I was like, really? Because I'm like that mama. I would do what she did. I don't know if I would have thought of it myself, but I'm telling you, now that I've seen it, I don't plan on going anywhere with long life. With long life, he will satisfy me. But I'm just saying, I'm on that stuff. I'm on that kind of level, like intentional. And I am present. I'm not perfect, but you could have a mother who gets on your nerves because she is missing in action. I could be doing my thing, concerned about what I'm concerned about, and it doesn't include her. I could be doing that. I could be silent. I could just let you figure things out. No, but I show up and I parent. And I yes, I put a stipulation in place that you did not like. It's just so crazy how you want that dynamic you see in the movie. And sometimes you have that dynamic. Sometimes you have both. In the same day. Like people are wanting to harm each other, but then, oh my gosh, I love you, and what am I going to do when you're not here? I think that's a line for me. Like, what am I going to do when you're not here? Like, it's all of that. Why is it so intense? Why? I don't know if you or I will ever have the answer. It's very complicated. I certainly don't know because my experience with my mother is limited, and I just have my experience as a mother. I know enough to know, having two boys and a girl, that this thing with this girl is very different than being a boy mom. This week was a lot of emotions, a lot of reflection, um, grieving, grieving what I didn't have, but not like in a fresh grief, but just being like, man, that would have been cool. That would be nice. And I tell you, I give you this as a suggestion. So this is not just chit chatting, although there's nothing wrong with that. But I give you this as a suggestion because it's sort of what I just realized. It's sort of what I did. Um, acknowledging. I'll say this: if you're in therapy, great. If not, it's even if you are, whether you are or not. It is interesting to me how the most random things can therapize you. I know therapize is not a word, but I like to say it. My one of my best friends is a therapist, and I always say therapize me in this. But anyway, the movie therapized me because here's the thing: I sat with my feelings, right? I felt the feelings. I didn't like watch the movie and be like, "What am I crying for? This is not even real." No, I felt the feelings when they came. I allowed the tears because although that movie isn't real, my life is, and my experience is, and what this movie provoked and evoked in me is, and so I'm going to deal with it. It has come up, and I will rise to meet it. I felt the feelings, and then I allowed I received what that mother did. I received it. Her challenge to her daughter, I received for myself. I received it as if my mother said it to me. Because really, it's what I've had to do. If you have been undermothered or you experienced emotional deprivation as a child, particularly when it came to your mom, you didn't get the nurturing. Um, you hopefully learned to get it on the go from other people that you come across who are motherly, who may have taken a liking to you, a friend's mom or whatever. You you assimilated what they would do with their daughter. You you took it for yourself because you weren't going to get it anyplace else. And hey, why not? It doesn't, it's not the same when it doesn't come from your mom. I acknowledge that. There's still a wound there. I acknowledge that. But you can still get the essence of what you would have liked from your mother from other people. Child, I got it from a movie. I didn't even finish the movie on Saturday. That's how much. So when I watched it on Saturday, I was identifying with the mom. When I finished it, was it Monday? When I finished it on the Monday, I was identifying as the daughter. And yeah, and as the daughter, I received from that mother what she was saying. The fictional mother to the fictional daughter. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I will continue to live my life. I will reflect on my dreams as a child and see what things I left on the table because I told myself that I could not. Where was it that I put my life down? Where did I stop living? Where did I stop believing for all kinds of things? No, let me go back there and pick that stuff back up, and even now to try again. Uh, so I encourage you to do the same. If you are the mother of a daughter, God bless you. God bless you. I pray that it's a wonderful experience where your daughter thinks you're the best thing since sliced bread. She loves the way she loves the way you love her, even if she doesn't like how it comes across. Sometimes she loves that you love her. She loves that you see her the way that you do, that you are rooting for her, and that she is also your biggest champion. I pray that that's what it is. If it's not, and you're feeling more like that mom whose eye is open, one eye is open at night because you felt like somebody was over top of you with a knife, child, I pray God's protection over you. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep doing the thing. I want you to keep parenting that child. Because my daughter stood and looked me in my face and wanted to call me things that she knows it wouldn't be good for her if she did. She was thinking them. She wanted to say them. And through tears, she said other things that it didn't feel good. But I also didn't feel thwarted. I didn't second guess myself. I didn't apologize for being her mother. Um, there'll be therapy for her in due time. She, like me, can go ahead and get her therapy. But what she won't need therapy for, she will not need therapy because her mama was not around and her mama was disinterested. She'll need therapy for other stuff, but it won't be for that. Don't get off your post. I watched Damon Wayans, Shannon Sharp's interview with Damon Wayans yesterday. Loved it. And one of the things Damon Wayans said, Shannon Sharp asked him what's the best thing that his father did for his family, a family of 10 children. If you don't know who Damon Wayans is, I mean, I don't know how you do, but anyway, family of 10 children, a brilliant comedic family. What's the best thing that their father did for them? Damon Wayans said that he came home every day. And what I'm saying to you is the best thing that a mother can do is to show up every day. To show up. To show up with the praise, to show up with correction, to show up with parameters, to show up and nurture, to show up every day. That is the best thing a mother can do. I didn't say the best thing you can do is get it right. The best thing you can do is do it in a way that your daughter will never feel like picking up a knife and stabbing you. Still creeps me out to say. I still can't believe these three girls did it. Like not one of them stopped the other one. But anyway, I didn't say that. I just said show up. Showing up is hard enough. It is hard enough. We don't know what outcome we'll have. We know what we're praying for. We know what we're working towards. We know what we are aiming them towards. Hopefully, we know that. Hopefully, we have a purpose to what we're doing and we're aiming them in a certain direction. And after that, you just got to keep showing up. Showing up, whether they're happy to see you or whether they can't stand you. Just keep showing up. Don't be scared of that child or children. I take and kudos to that mama. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Three teenage girls are chasing your tail, and you got away from them. You got away from them, got outside. Your mama was able to get away from them. Kudos to that mother. You got to leave it on a high note and leave it with some laughter because it's absurd. But I say to you, keep it up, keep going. And as I end every video, when it comes to you being the mother of your children, you are the woman for the job. It's a thankless job. It's the most important job in the world, and you are the woman for it. If this video was good to you, go ahead and like it. Click the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. And I will see you next time. Take care.